Well, we're through. That's the main thing, isn't it? We're through. And there's an old saying, isn't it? It's better to play badly and win than play well and lose, and I get that. But I'm usually tense watching England. I've just been sat there today watching that, and I've not, other than goal, the equaliser, I've not really been up. I've not really been panicked. Sort of apathetic, which it's sort of in line with the performances. They're like apathetic performances, aren't they? I thought there'd be changes after that last game against Denmark. The substitutes made such an impact and played with such a freedom. To me, it was a no-brainer to make them changes. But when the team was announced, I can't say I was too surprised with just the one change. Pickford in goal, same back four. Walker, Stones, Gay and Trippier. Rice and Mainu coming in there to be the defensive pairing in midfield. And then Foden, Bellingham, Saka and Kane up top. Now, Mainu had to start because he made such an impact in the last game. But equally, I was looking at that and I was like, no place for Palmer, really. The thing about this England team is we're playing with no style as such. I don't know what our style is. And I've talked about this in years. I want to see a performance. I want to see a sort of ethos throughout the team, and I know what we're about. And I can't see that, I've seen a game tonight, Spain against Georgia, and albeit I think in the Spanish team we've probably seen winners, but even Georgia team, a small nation, 4 million people, you know what they're about. No, we're going to have five at back. We're going to really work hard. We're going to shuffle about and make it hard for teams. We're going to get stuck in. We're going to, try and win headers and tackles. And when we do break, we're going to break at pace. We're going to take people on. We're going to dribble at people. We're going to streak up pitch. You know what they're about. Equally, Spain, obviously, they've got their own method. You know what they're going to do. Of course. But we're not a long ball team. We don't really attack at pace. Yet equally, we're not a defensive team or sit off and play on counter-attack. But it's just, I keep coming back to this thing that it's just, let's just get our best 11 on park and hope that we can do something. And essentially, that's how we've got through. We've got through because if you look at the levelling goal tonight from Bellingham, it's a great strike. But nobody should be surprised about that. Here's a lad who plays number 10 for Real Madrid. There's only so many ways I can say it. He's the main man for arguably the biggest club side in the world. So he's going to have that in the locker. You don't get to play that position for a club that big if you ain't got that in the locker. But we're relying on individual moments of brilliance rather than a team collective style of play which can break teams down. And it's not that we ain't got the quality, because we have got the quality. He's got the quality. Foden's got quality. Kane's got quality. And you've got to find a way of getting the best out of all those players. And that's frustrating for me because I genuinely believe, as I've said all through the tournament, that the best way to get that from our players available is a 4-3-3. And obviously Southgate don't agree with that. He likes his 4-2-3-1. But within that, and if that's what he's going to do, that's what he's going to do. But then within that, you've then got to pick the players that give you the best balance to play that system. And I don't think we are. We're starting games really badly. We've still got that issue down the left-hand side. And it's nothing against Trippier because I think he's a terrific player. But, he's, every pass is inside. Every pass is inside. And if you look at how Slovakia had set up with that 4-3-3. That was their strength. That was their strength with their numbers in middle. So every time we went up there and it came back in, they were like, sound. They weren't even going out and squeezing him all the time because they knew it was going to come back in. And that's got to be addressed. I think that's got to be addressed. The decision to only take sort of Shaw looks so short-sighted with every passing day. As I said, it's about styling. I look at that Spain team tonight, and obviously they've they've got some fantastic players, but they can do it both ways, can't they? They can do it both ways. If you defend deep against them, they'll cut you open with little 1-2s and cute movement. They'll take players on. They can beat a man. But equally, if you squeeze right up and try and press them, they can just take you out with a long pass because they've got loads of pace and they've got players who are playing with a freedom. They've got the lad Williams on left. They've got that, is it Yamal on the right? I don't see that freedom with our players, and I don't know if it's a build-up of expectation. I don't know if it's whether they're just tired. Maybe there's some arguments about whether they're in the best positions. I certainly don't think Foden's in his best position. The only player who looks like, to me, in an attacking sense, is Palmer. He has got to start the next game against Switzerland. He has got to start. Because what he does is, he plays with a freedom. And what I've seen with this England team is, I've seen a fear. They'll say they're not fearful of anybody and they want, they'll go out and take each game as it comes and sort of. But you can see what you can see with your own eyes. They play with the freedom. There's so much safe passing. And that's why I like that lad, because, and I said it before the tournament, he don't care who he's playing against. He don't care what club team he's up against, what national team he's up against. He don't care who fullback is, whether he's playing on left or right or in goal. He just goes out, he wants the ball, he demands the ball, and then he tries to make things happen. But the most important thing, the key thing about it is, he don't care if he don't pull it off. It don't faze him. If he tries a pass and it gets cut out, he's like, oh, next time. Some players see that pass and then, no, I'm not going to attempt that, and it's a little 5-yarder. And that's got to be the fear factor. Got to be. He has got to start the next game. It comes down to balance all the time. I said after the Denmark game I'd be half tempted to play Saka at left fullback just to give us something going on outside. Although I didn't expect to see that happen. But it did happen. Southgate's moved him out there in the second half, and I almost thought, well, fair play. It's a positive move. Ironically, though, he's got a great left foot. He started coming inside all the time. Totally bizarre. There's no... I do not know what that is. I do not know what that is. It's got to be a fear factor. I mean, all right, when you're playing on right wing, that's one thing. When you're playing at full back, there is a little bit more fear factor. That goes without saying. If you misplace a pass when you're at full back, you can be in trouble. But I don't see a confidence. The players are there. The players are good enough. Look at the season he's had for Arsenal. Look at what Bellingham's done at Madrid. Look at the season Foden's had at City. Played it here with some great players around him. Now, I know you can say, well, great players make you look better, and that's true. But equally, to win Played It here when you're playing with those great players, that shows that you're doing something yourself individually. So there's all that talent in there, and you've got to find the blend. And sometimes the blend means that for all those great players, there's one or two that's got to be left out for the sake of the good of the whole. Now, whether that means you take Foden out and put Gordon in to give you that natural balance, or whether that means you take him out and swap Saka and play him on left wing, you've got to get the balance right. And like I said, I've looked at this Spain team tonight. They've got the balance right. They've got the balance right, the way they move the ball. They can go down the left, they can go down the right, they can go through the middle, and they play with a confidence that I just don't see in our players. And I don't think it's because our players aren't good enough, because they are good enough. Look at the stats that they've got, all of them. Tremendous stats they've got from this season. But it's about doing it as a team collective. And Southgate's got the hardest job in the world, because they've come into this tournament as favourites. He's quite conservatively minded. He's spent all his career as a centre half, but you've got to make them big decisions, And I think he's approaching that stage when he's got to make a big decision and leave somebody out. The 2 goals have come from 2 players that people have been saying, well, they're not playing well, Kane and Bellingham. But what it just highlights is the quality they've got, but it's a quality that only comes to the fore when you're attacking. Their qualities don't come to the fore when you're playing 5-yard passes and back to Pickford and back out at other sides. I think what frustrated me most is, this is when I talk about fear factor, is when people are playing with fear in the game, they tense and there's no flow to it. And what you always see, and it doesn't matter what teams you're watching, whether I'm a Wednesday fan, when teams are going through that, that's when it's always safe passes. It's always safe passes. And what you start seeing a lot is people just start coming to feet all the time because they want to be involved. They want to be involved in play. They want to be involved in build-up, but they don't want to take a risk. So it's come in, I'll have a touch and I'll knock it back. The off-the-ball work as well. It looks like there's so many heavy legs out there. But like I said, I've looked at that Spain team tonight. The movement off the ball, whenever somebody's got the ball, not everybody's running towards him saying, yeah, I'll have it. There'll be 1 or 2 running towards him saying, I'll have it. The rest will be like, right, I'm off out there, I'm off here, flip me in, I'll go in behind. And they're opening pitch up. When we've got ball, we're like closing pitch up. We've either stood still or it's everybody wants it to feet. And we're doing the defending for opposition teams for them by closing up our own spaces. Movement off the ball. Think about players who play on shoulder. That's why, Kane scored that goal today, and that's what you get when you get balls in 18-yard box. But I look at a player like Watkins. He just plays on shoulder. He's not bothered about saying, yes, I'll have it. He'll be like, yes, send me. And when you play a team that's squeezing you a bit, like these were tonight, that's when you want somebody who's going to run other way. You want somebody who's going to run other way. And again, that's Palmer, when he's come on tonight. Yes, he always wants the ball and he always wants to try and make things happen. But equally, if you look at his positioning when someone else has got the ball or is advancing with the ball, he's here, there and all over the place because he's trying to find space. It just... I don't know. I'm pleased, obviously, I'm delighted for the lads, but... Now, obviously, Bellingham's got that goal, which we've talked about. And obviously, he's run off, and he said, who else? Which that'll probably wind 1 or 2 people up. They'll think, well, a bit conceited, he's not had a great game or this or that. I've got no problem with it. I like that. I like that he's got that supreme confidence. More of that. Don't upset me in the slightest. I think it's great. But as good as that goal was, and obviously we won't be going through without it if we aren't levelled, what I liked from him was something I saw 2 minutes before that, and it's what I want to see more of and show a bit of arrogance in that way. Is he got ball inside left channel when we were chasing the equaliser. He got an easy 5-yard ball inside and he ignored it. He got ball, he dribbled past first man, second man come in, tried to give him a bit of shoulder, he's absolutely bounced him off. I mean, he's built like a bloody super cruiserweight and he's bounced him off. Then third man's come across, he's just knocked it past him and put a cross in. Now, albeit their keeper's come and caught it. But that's what I want to see. That's where I want to see that confidence showing in open play situations. That little bit of drive, that intensity, and that is what I want to see from all of them. But it's a catalyst. Something like that can be a catalyst. I don't think that goal comes if he doesn't do that run 2 minutes before. Because when you've got a player who'll do something like that and say, no, I'm not having this, bang, I'm going for it, I'm going to get to the byline, I'm going to get a cross in or whatever it is, that spreads through the team. And that's what I want to see more of from him and everybody else. I just feel like we've used a get out of jail free card. Again. we easy Aussie when we've got the ball, and we're just over-reliant on individual moments of brilliance. I mean, okay, they're a different class, but Spain's had 35 shots tonight against Georgia, against an hard-working Georgia team. I think we'd had one shot in first half, and that would, what would it be in second half? And that's Rice. That's your defensive midfielder. Is it the post? That's the first sort of time that you've had a shot on target, if you like, including bar and post. Really, with the talent that we've got, it's taking a defensive midfielder to get up there and do that. Like I said, I don't see freedom. I think there's a fear factor in there. The football's safe, with exception of Palmer, who will try things. And it's a phrase I use a lot when I'm talking about league players, usually opposition, when I'm doing my Wednesday videos. But Palmer plays with that freedom of expression. I'm just going to go out and play football. And he looks like a kid playing in a schoolyard. And I want to see more of that. Now, I'd like to see Bellingham doing that. I would like to see Foden doing that. But if they're not going to be able to, then he's got to stick people in who are. The team has got to come first. I can't see past Spain. Not after that. I mean, it should be a terrific game against Germany. That I can't wait to see that. But Switzerland, they'll cause us problems. They will cause us problems. We're not starting very well, and if we've got a goal behind today, if we go a goal behind against a team like that, they will push on and try and get a second. And if they do get a second goal, we've got to have a good start. And really get after teams. And again, it's that shit. I want to see a 4-3-3. We're not going to. And if he sticks to this 4-2-3-1, Gordon, Eze, could even put Palmer out left. You could even put Saka out left. But whoever it is, we've got to get that little bit more balance in there. You've got to be going for it. Like I said, Kane's come alive at end there, and when you are attacking, when you're getting ball at 18-yard box, he's who you want in there. But for how long would it? 92 minutes, he were wasted because we didn't get ball in and around there. I don't want to be negative because we threw a brilliant and we didn't best half at draw, but there's got to be more. I want to see a method. I want to see a team that's got a style of play and we know what we're going to do. Else it could be trouble.